Good evening, you're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. His Majesty the Sultan greets the President of the Republic of Colombia on his country's Independence Day anniversary. Over 30 Palestinians are killed by Israeli occupation fire near 8 centers in the southern Gaza Strip, and UN reports confirm a sharp deterioration in food and health situation in the Strip. And Drydock Company records last year the highest number of projects implemented in a single year since the start of its operation. Those are the headlines. Now for the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Haytham bin Tariq has sent a cable of greetings to His Excellency President Gustavo Petro of the Republic of Colombia on his country's Independence Day anniversary. Israeli troops continue to attack crowds gathered to receive food in Gaza Strip. More detail in the following report.
Israeli troops opened fire today toward crowds of Palestinians seeking food from distribution hubs run by a U.S.-Israeli-backed group in southern Gaza, killing at least 32 people. Health officials said that the two incidents occurred near hubs operated by the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. In other violence, 2 Palestinians were killed in an Israeli airstrike in Gaza City. Most of today's deaths occurred as Palestinians massed in the Tiena area, around 3 kilometers away from a GHF aid distribution center east of the city of Khan Yunis. Addressing a Security Council meeting on the humanitarian situation in Gaza, Undersecretary General for Humanitarian Affairs Tom Fletcher said that
Israel, as the occupying power, is obligated to ensure that people have food and medical supplies. But that is not happening. Instead, civilians are exposed to death and injury, forcible displacement, stripped of dignity. It is for you to draw your own conclusions. But surely, we do not need to debate whether killing civilians waiting in line for life's essentials meets the responsibility to provide for civilian needs.
In the past week, severe injuries continue to be reported among people seeking aid. The World Health Organization reported one instance where a 21-year-old man was paralyzed for life after being shot while trying to collect a bag of flour from one of these militarized food distribution hubs. Months of escalating hostilities have increased risk for the most vulnerable, including people with disabilities and older people who struggle to access what they need to survive and become even more isolated. Meanwhile, Palestinian Ambassador Majid Bamia said that
they want to say, we chose to leave. We chose to be occupied. We chose to be oppressed. It is our fault. It's always our fault. That has been the narrative since the beginning. Didn't they say we were responsible for our own Nakba, that we left on our own, forgetting the massacres and the towns and villages destroyed? Let them leave, they say. This is Israel's solution for the Palestine question, a right to further and definitive exile, rather than a right of return or a right to life and liberty in our ancestral homeland.
According to food security experts, Gaza's more than 2 million Palestinians are living through a catastrophic humanitarian crisis, and the territory is teetering on the edge of famine.
The Syrian presidency announced an immediate and comprehensive ceasefire in Odessa while internal security forces began deploying in the city. The presidency urged all parties to adhere to the ceasefire and end hostilities in all areas immediately, warning that any violation would constitute a violation of sovereignty. This comes hours after U.S. Special Envoy to Syria Tom Barak announced that Israel and Syria had agreed to a ceasefire following days of violence in Essaouira Governorate. One person was killed and others injured in a Russian drone attack on the Ukrainian port of Odessa. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said that Russian forces launched airstrikes with more than 300 drones and over 30 missiles on Ukrainian cities last night. Zelensky added that Russian forces bombed the regions of Dnipropetrovsk, Donetsk, Kherson, and Zaporizhia and destroyed critical infrastructure in Sumy, causing power outages for thousands of families. Russia announced that it had signed an order terminating the military technical cooperation agreement with Germany. The Russian authorities explained in a document that they had terminated the agreement between the government of the Russian Federation and the government of the Federal Republic of Germany on military technical cooperation, noting that the Russian Ministry of Foreign Affairs would notify the German side of this decision. The military technical cooperation agreement between Moscow and Berlin was concluded in 1996 for a period of 5 years. This document is automatically renewed after its expiration unless either party expresses a desire to terminate it. UNESCO has added a new set of cultural and natural wonders to its World Heritage List, spanning castles, ancient sites, and rare ecosystems around the world. Here is a report.
Germany's fairy tale castles Neuschwanstein, Lindenhof, Schachen, and Herrenchiemsee, built by King Ludwig II, are now UNESCO World Heritage Sites, celebrated for their opulent design and historical significance. In France, the megaliths of Karnak and Morbihan, stone structures dating back over 7,000 years, have been added for their insight into prehistoric life. Denmark's Mons Klint, with its dramatic white cliffs and rare orchids, joins the list as a natural wonder shaped by ancient glaciers. Russia's Shulgan-Tash cave made the cut for its Paleolithic rock art, including mammoths and camels carved into stone. In Turkey, the ruins of Sardis and the Leiden burial mounds at Bin Tepe were honored for their Iron Age heritage. Africa saw expansions too, as South Africa's Isimangaliso Wetland Park now stretches into Mozambique, while Sierra Leone's Gola Tiwai complex was recognized for its rich biodiversity. Brazil's Peruaçu River Canyon earned a spot for its vast cave system and wildlife, and in Australia, the sacred Murujuga cultural landscape was inscribed, home to ancient indigenous rock art. More sites across Asia were also included as UNESCO continues to protect the world's most treasured places.
Still to come in our news bulletin. The first South El Batina Dates Festival witnesses a wide local participation. Drydock Company recorded outstanding performance in 2024, efficiently implementing 232 projects. This is the highest number of projects implemented in a single year since the company began operations in 2011, bringing the total number of completed projects to over 2,000. The company indicated that the number of clients outside the Sultanate of Oman who dealt with the dry dock reached more than 800 clients from 70 countries, reflecting the growing international confidence in the company's technical and operational capabilities. The company's revenues increased by 15% in the first half of this year. OQ-based industries recorded significant growth in its profits for the first half of this year, with consolidated net profit rising to more than 22 million Omani Riyals. The data indicated that the company's revenues in the first 6 months of this year amounted to approximately 112 million Omani Riyals, an increase of 7.7%, while total expenses amounted to 89 million Omani Riyals, a decrease of 10.5%. The company explained that these results reflected the strength of its operation, the efficiency of cost management, and the ability to deal with market challenges. It's noted that restructuring financing at better interest rates contributed to achieving record profits, which positively impacted net profits. In Wadi al-Maawil, the first South Batina Dates Festival wrapped up last night at Hajrat al-Sheikh walkway, transforming the scenic spot into a vibrant hub of culture and local flavor. More details in the following report.
The first ever South al-Batina Ratab Festival or Dates Festival concluded at picturesque Hajrat al-Sheikh walkway in Wadi al-Maawil, drawing visitors from across Oman and beyond. Over 2 lively evenings, 20 public and private entities showcased premium dates and local products, celebrating Oman's cultural and agricultural heritage in a setting rich with nature and community spirit. Among the distinguished guests was His Excellency the Chinese Ambassador to the Sultanate of Oman, who praised the festival's warm atmosphere.
I'm very glad to come here with my colleagues from the embassy to visit the Ratab Festival. First of all, I was very impressed by the beautiful scenery here. And along the path, when I passed, I see some beautiful castles, which reflects the very ancient history of this village, which they told me dated several hundred years ago. And also I see that the symbol or the symbolic culture symbol is the dates, which have a very special day. It's very special here, and I taste it. It really is. As we Chinese know that it's a very popular food among Omani people and Arab people. And also, it's a symbol. It's also an iconic symbol for the Omani and Arabic civilization. It has a very important element, cultural element.
His Excellency also highlighted the historic friendship between the Sultanate of Oman and the People's Republic of China.
Many people come here. They come here to enjoy the nature. They come back to nature, come back to history. This is the life. It's a balanced life people really enjoy nowadays for people. I should say that Chinese people and Omani people share similar views and philosophy. We also respect nature. Come back to the China and Oman relations. We have two peoples enjoy a long time friendship, which can date it back over 1,000 years. And along the history, we all have these beautiful exchanges and friendship. Nowadays, we have a strategic partnership, and both of our heads of states attach great importance to our bilateral relations, and I see very optimistically the future of our relations. Now, we hope that people-to-people exchanges will expand with this visa exemption policy just announced by the Chinese government. That is to say that any Omani citizen, they can go to visit China without a visa. They can decide, buy a ticket and go to China again. So as ambassador here, I welcome all the Omani people to go to China to visit, to explore the China, and also to understand more about our ancient friendship between our ancestors.
The event witnessed a strong participation from SMEs leaders, underscoring its role in supporting local businesses, tourism and cultural engagement. The festival also captured the imagination of Oman's younger generation, who came with curiosity and excitement, learning about their heritage.
It's a really wonderful event here in Hijrat Sheikh in Wadi al-Maul. It showcases different types of dates. We really enjoyed our time here in Wadi al-Maul.
The vibrant finale to a festival that celebrated Oman's past and carried its living traditions forward. In the heart of Wadi al-Maul, the first ever South al-Batina Dates Festival wrapped up its vibrant run at Hijrat Sheikh Wakwe, turning the scenic site into a lively hub of culture, flavor and local pride. From Hijrat Sheikh Wakwe, Wadi al-Maul, I'm Abdullah bin Ahmed al-Rubi'i, Sultanate of Oman Television.
Oman Airport stated that it's currently discussing with Wizz Air the possibility of operating direct flights from European airports to the Sultanate of Oman, whether via the Hungarian capital Budapest or other European cities. The company indicated that it is serious about launching these routes soon. The company also indicated that it is working with the Embassy of the People's Republic of China in the Sultanate of Oman to attract China Eastern Airlines to operate direct flights to Muscat, either via Shanghai or Guangzhou. The company confirmed that Oman Airports is making efforts to launch these flights and is offering them numerous incentive packages. Oman Airports clarified that it is currently working with LOT Polish Airlines to operate direct flights between Muscat and Warsaw, and that the Civil Aviation Authority is in contact with its Polish counterpart to officially open this route. The total value of real estate transactions in the Sultanate of Oman reached more than 1.1 billion Omani riyals by the end of May of this year, a 10% decrease. Data issued by the National Center for Statistics and Information showed a 13.5% increase in fees collected for all legal transactions, reaching 30.9 million Omani riyals. The value of sales contracts also increased by 17.3%, reaching more than 536 million Omani riyals, while the number of sales contracts decreased by 2.6%, reaching more than 27,300. The combined total assets of Islamic banks and outlets amounted to approximately 9 billion Omani riyals by the end of May 2025, representing 20% of the total assets of the banking sector in the Sultanate of Oman, registering a 17.5% increase compared to the same period last year. Data issued by the Central Bank of Oman indicated that the total financing balance granted by units engaged in this activity increased by 12.3%, reaching approximately 7.2 billion Omani riyals by the end of last May. Statistics also showed that deposits at Islamic banks and windows increased by 16.6%, reaching approximately 7 billion Omani riyals by the end of May 2025. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Majesty the Sultan greets the President of the Republic of Colombia on his country's Independence Day anniversary. Over 30 Palestinians are killed by Israeli occupation fire near 8 centers in the southern Gaza Strip, and UN reports confirm a sharp deterioration in food and health situation in the Strip. And Asia Drydock Company records last year the highest number of projects implemented in a single year since the start of its operations. With that, we come to the end of tonight's bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, it's good night, and we hope you've had an enjoyable weekend.